Hey Pisces, how are you? Welcome to your November 2023 horoscopes. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. November 3rd, the sun in your Scorpio ninth house is going to make an opposition to Jupiter in your Taurus third house. So if you guys are going on a trip or like you're traveling for work or wanting to focus on higher education, right? Because the sun rules your sixth house, you could finally be able to maybe move some stuff around, like when it comes to your schedule, reschedule clients, etc. Delegate tasks to somebody maybe. And I feel like you'll be able to do these things, like if you're trying to focus on higher education, if you're trying to travel, etc. I feel like getting documents, signing papers, getting a visa, a passport could come into view now. Jupiter does rule you, so I feel like you're over here kind of like scrambling, getting stuff together. But I feel like it's positive. I feel like whatever you're pursuing here, I feel like it's leading you to a higher purpose. I want to say have faith in yourself around this time is going to be, a big theme. And also, I want to say like positive thinking and positive thoughts is going to be a big deal for you. Having faith in yourself, Jupiter being you. On the same day, November 3rd, Venus in your Virgo seventh house is going to oppose Neptune in your Pisces first house. So I feel like someone is like trying to, like kind of pursue you a little bit. Like, ooh, it can kind of be like an idealization. And you could be like totally not like oblivious to this with Neptune here, like not even knowing it, right? Anyway, so it could be if you have a partner, they're kind of loving you up a little bit more than usual. On November 4th, Saturn is going to go direct in your first house. So whatever you were solidifying since June, since Saturn went retrograde in June of this year, is now when you're going to start reaping the rewards or, right, the consequences of your action. So if you've been taking care of your body, putting in the work when it comes to pursuing your dreams and goals with Saturn making connections to your 11th, um, you know, this stuff can kind of come to the forefront now. Also, have you been setting boundaries with your friends? Who are you allowing around you? All of this is really going to start becoming more clear to you, and plans that maybe you've thought about, or work that you've done on yourself, work that you've done in regards to dreams, goals, aspirations can start to move forward if you've done the work, right? Let's see. On the same day, November 4th, Mercury in your Scorpio ninth house is going to oppose Uranus in your Taurus third house. So, someone at a distance, a partner, or like a client, or even like an open enemy, maybe. Mercury does have connections to your seventh house. Maybe they're being a little too intrusive. Mercury in Scorpio can be highly intrusive, can be somebody who's a little aggressive, but not in like an Aries way, and like in a long game way, right? Like we're not being super upfront about something. It's like kind of like a low-key weird vibe. I feel like there's somebody here who's triggering you and like how you think and how you communicate, and triggering old behaviors, old like mental stuff. Regardless of what it is, someone seems to be like saying or asking you something that's like triggering a memory, or kind of making you flip out a little bit. It could be something more around your subconscious as well. I don't know. I want to say like try not to snap and reply like a lightning bolt, okay? Because I feel like someone's definitely triggering like a hidden spot. And then on November 6th, we have Venus in your Virgo seventh house, and it's going to make a gorgeous trine to Pluto in your Capricorn 11th house. So a partner could be like benefiting from the network, or like the people that you know, or maybe you start attracting clients at a distance. Pluto does have connections to your ninth house. This is great for gaining more power over like an audience or people in general, and attracting more people into you to obtain your bigger dreams and your bigger goals. On the same day, November 6th, Mercury in your Scorpio ninth house is going to make a trine to Neptune in your Pisces first house. So there could be like a very healing conversation that you're having with someone, where maybe there's been some aggression or some conflict. I feel like things could be like maybe softening between you and this person. Then on November 8th, we're going to have Venus, and she's going to enter your Libra eighth house. So this is other people's money. Maybe, with connection, Venus making connections to your third, documents regarding taxes, loans, debts. Venus is coming here to make things better, right? That's her goal. That's what she wants to do. And then when Venus makes that conjunction to the South Node around like the 29th, you're going to maybe be able to let go of some of those things. Maybe even if it's just like an old breakup and you finally like giving, an ex's shit back. You know what I mean? It can be something, it can be something like that. Or maybe you're like signing a loan, or maybe if you're partnered or you have a spouse, maybe more positive things are coming into their finances, right? And maybe they can finally start letting go, or maybe you guys are selling something, as well. Some of you guys could definitely be selling something. On the same day, November 8th, Mercury in your Scorpio ninth house is going to make a sextile to Pluto in your Capricorn 11th house. So, an opportunity to maybe discuss things when it comes to your higher purpose, your goals, your dreams, networks. Once again, I'm feeling like you're very much benefiting through who you know and what they can do for you. So, your networks and who you surround yourself with this month are going to be highly important because they could bring you some kind of power. On November 10th, Mercury is going to enter your Sagittarius 10th house, and Mercury will also make squares to Saturn in your Pisces first house. So, Mercury and Sagittarius can have people saying things that are a little too blunt, or, somebody can be putting their foot here, their foot in their mouth here, excuse me. I'm kind of wondering here, you may have someone in like a public situation or a public setting where someone is saying something about you or challenging something about your past, or a secret is triggering your mental health in some way. I say this because Saturn has connections to your 12th house. So once again, like a mental health thing is like being triggered in some way, and it could kind of like come out of nowhere. I feel like somebody's kind of putting you on blast a little bit. I hate to say that, but it can be somebody kind of putting you on blast. It could have you like reacting in a way that you shouldn't be. So I don't know. I just want to say, like, kind of don't, when they go low, don't go lower kind of thing. And then on November 11th, Mars in your Scorpio ninth house is going to oppose Uranus in your Taurus third house. So this isn't necessarily the best day when it comes to like discussing philosophy, traveling, or getting into like a verbal knuckle sandwich with someone at a distance. Mars does rule your second house. And so this can be someone's values, maybe and their morals, like pressuring you to kind of conform in some way. But the thing is that Uranus is not going to conform, and they may be trying to get you to conform to an idea or a philosophy or a faith-based religion or like a viewpoint. And some of you could be absolutely losing your shit. Okay. And that you could kind of surprise this person. Uranus rules your 12th house. And so you could kind of like surprise this person a little bit. Like they could like be taken aback. And so I feel like the new version of you is also being tested. Like, how are you going to respond? How are you going to react? The positive way I can see this is that someone could be spending money to come and see you. Like somebody could be visiting you and you could be like, "Oh my God, like what the hell? Like I didn't expect that." It can be stuff like that, but just be careful of trips being delayed, or there being some shocks with trips and travel. On November 13th, there's going to be a new moon in your Scorpio ninth house. Naturally, it's going to conjunct the sun, which is the ruler of your sixth house. It's also going to conjunct Mars, which is the ruler of this new moon. The co-ruler of this new moon is Pluto, which is in your 11th house. And it's going to be making trines to Neptune in your first house. So a new beginning in regards to faith, in regards to religion, higher philosophy, big picture stuff, higher purpose, travel, higher education, universities. With everything considered, and the ruler of this new moon being Mars and Pluto, Pluto is in your 11th, like I said, which is about big dreams and goals. Your ninth house can be about your higher purpose, like I said. It very much makes me feel like you're surrounding yourself with people who are on like a similar path, or that can kind of change that for you. I will say that you, like I said before, you will need to pay attention who you are surrounding yourself with at this time, because these are people who are really leading you down the path that you want to be led, as long as you're choosing wisely, right? And give you kind of a clue maybe as to like where you're going and how you can make these changes that you need to make. This is something that may challenge you. I feel, it could be challenging your thinking a little bit with the oppositions to Uranus. But you will have some, like, what are you willing to learn? I feel like you're going to have some revelations about like what you're needing to learn and how you're needing to change your thought process on things and how you communicate. November 15th, Mercury in your Sagittarius 10th house is going to make a sextile to Venus in your Libra 8th house. So I feel like your career and reputation have an opportunity to get a boost, like through another person or other people's money. This could be a very proactive conversation going on about responsibilities and like what needs to change, possibly in a potential business or intimate partnership. On November 17th, Mars and the Sun in your Scorpio ninth house is going to trine Neptune in your Pisces first house. So this is a very spiritual and very, creative time. Maybe you are incorporating, creativity more in your life, more spirituality into your daily life as well. Or the Sun does have connections to your sixth. This is about like your daily life. And then on November 18th, we have the Sun and Mars conjoining in your Scorpio ninth house. So you can meet people abroad for some of you if you are taking a trip. That's really going to add like value to your life. Mars does rule your second house, is like what you value and your self-esteem and like raising your self-esteem. And you could feel like you're really following your higher purpose, or the spiritual practice is really like, changing your self-worth and your self-value in some way, and like what you're prioritizing in your life has such a higher purpose, etc. Relationships with gurus, mentors, people at a distance. This can be really good for traveling, philosophy, religion, and higher education. But keep in mind that there can be like ego battles or like conflicts with scheduling as well, I want to say, or like, conflicts with money, maybe. And then on November 20th, the Sun and Mars in your Scorpio ninth house is going to make a sextile to Pluto in your Capricorn 11th house. So, an opportunity to connect with people, maybe, at a distance in a university. Maybe you're learning something new with other people. Once again, it's the people that's going to get you where you're trying to go. Then on November 22nd, the Sun enters your Sagittarius 10th house, and it's going to make a square to Saturn in your Pisces first house. So there's a big spotlight on you, your reputation, how you're being seen, your career, a lot of focus on what kind of you're putting out into the world and how you're showing up. With the Sun in the 10th, the Sun ruling the 6th, what habits are you incorporating into your day to day? And how is that going to help you? With the squares to Saturn in your first, you could be trying to implement these new habits into your career, and how you're showing up in the world. But like maybe it's like I don't know, maybe like a mental health issue. Saturn having connections to your 12th house. Maybe it's like your mentality getting in the way again, like another trigger kind of, or like challenging old habits, right? Because you have the Sun here, which has connections to the sixth. Then you have Saturn here, which has connections to the 12th. These houses naturally oppose each other. And so there's a little bit of like old habits die hard. What are we doing with the new habits? How has our mentality changed and how we're thinking? How is that being incorporated into our daily life? And how are we showing up now? Right. I want to say that this could also be like somebody kind of challenging you, like in a public setting in some way, and putting the spotlight on you to like get out there, like calling you out a little bit with something. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna show up? Like how, and so there could be a little bit of like going on there. So I guess I want to say like get out of your own way, you know? And then on November 24th, we're also going to have Mars enter your Sagittarius 10th house, and Mars will also square Saturn in your Pisces first house. So similar to the Sun aspect, there seems to be more pressure from your career and reputation than there was before, I guess you could say. And like people may be challenging your values, and Mars ruling your second house. But I feel like also opportunities to make money. Okay. And then to end the month on November 27th, we have a full moon in your Gemini fourth house. The ruler of this full moon is going to be Mercury. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius, so it's going to be in its fall. It doesn't do the best there. And it's going to be making a square to Neptune in your first house. So this could be like a move. Maybe you're moving for work, right? Maybe. But I see it as like you having a lot to do in the home or like around the home, on the home front. And maybe you're like, people are trying to get a hold of you, contact you, trying to get you to come into work or whatever it may be. But maybe you're like sick, or there's like delay in communication or some kind of communication issue, or like mixed signals, or things just like not going as planned. Okay. So that is it for you, Pisces. Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If you have not, let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.